Hi, my name is David Garcia, and I'm the CEO of Scout Logic. Thank you so much for joining us for the next in our series of interviews on winning the recovery. Joining us today is Karen Petz. Karen is the current leader for the human resources function at dhlBowles, a manufacturer of engineered plastic products for the automotive and consumer industries. Karen has a rich set of experiences across a number of industries, having worked in the manufacturing, distribution, retail, healthcare, and biotech industries. She brings this great perspective on how HR leaders can help their companies navigate COVID-19 and win the recovery. So Karen, thanks for joining us today. All right, Karen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure.
So our format for our Win the Recovery interviews, as I'm sure you've seen, is we have 3 questions for you. So we'll fire them away at you. First question is how has COVID-19 impacted your company?
I don't think there's anything that it hasn't impacted.
Yeah.
It's funny, if somebody comes in my office or calls me and says, I have a non-COVID question for you, I have to stop and think, what is my normal job?
That's right.
But I think, primarily the biggest thing is it's something that was very difficult to prepare for.
Mm-hmm.
Have your emergency prepared plans. And that's for, economic downturns or weather disasters. We didn't really have anything like this.
For a global pandemic?
Exactly. And so not only trying to get ready for that, but also keep myself updated on what they've learned about the virus and all of the changes. I think, typically an HR professional, we've got months to prepare for any new legislation. And I read something that there were like 150 new laws passed over, and that was probably 2 months ago. So not having that time to really fully understand, be the subject matter expert, and then figure out how we're going to implement. It was just, we had to be as flexible and agile as we could.
It was boom, boom, boom. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And, we're largely in the automotive sector, and, the big OEMs took what started to be a 2-week shutdown. And then, that progressed. It was a lot of moving targets and juggling balls.
That's right. It's a great way to put it, Karen. And, as we're continuing to go throughout the year, what do you see on the horizon for the rest of 2020?
So I've seen, the recovery is coming, faster in some areas, turning on, a little slower in others. So looking for, trying to develop that forecast.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we had to furlough some employees. We've been able to bring a lot of them back, but trying to plan when we can hopefully bring the rest of them back, depends so much on the market.
Yep.
And it's not something that we can necessarily change.
Mm-hmm.
We can be as proactive as we can, but so much of it is just what's happening.
You're right. And a lot of the customers we've talked to, you really have to look at your end customer's viability. And take that into account as much as your own as you think about your HR and hiring plans.
Absolutely. And, continually looking at the safety of each of our plants. Yep. And as more states open up, and, we're in Mexico as well, so the different, legalities in different countries, as they open up more, we're getting more potential exposures for employees. And so we have a strict protocol that we follow when that happens. So we're really, I think, trying to move forward systematically and methodically instead of doing it too fast, then wind up kind of back where we started.
Well, and that's a great segue into our last question, which is, from a practical perspective, what are some ideas or best practices you can share with employers right now based on your own learning and experience?
One of the things that, I would caution everybody is, don't be too quick to get back to normal.
Yeah.
I think we have a great opportunity here to change what is normal, and to shape the future of work. So there are definitely things that, and we've got a lot of employees that are asking, can we come back into the office yet? And I love that they really want to come back. But, we're trying to stage it so that we don't wind up with a big exposure that, winds up shutting down a big group.
Yep.
So we've been very fortunate in that respect. But I think, don't be so quick to get back to normal and embrace what we've learned.
Yep.
There are so many things where, how do you work from home? Like we just did a virtual tour of our plant in Mexico to see all of the safety precautions and implementations that they did, to, even just get that human connection from far away. And it was fabulous. And that's something that, typically we fly down there to do. So I think that's the biggest thing is to, really kind of, and I would say something I'm trying to do is document as much as possible, because it feels like one COVID month is equivalent to a dog year. I'm having to look back in March and say, why did we do this?
Totally.
And, you kind of get back into that mode. Well, we thought it was only going to be 2 weeks, not 2 months. So documenting as much as possible so that if there is another wave, we'll have that continual learning so that we can be better prepared for anything.
I think you're so spot on, Karen. I think we all want everything to go back to normal as fast as we can. I just think that's our normal instinct. And I've talked to a lot of customers who are saying and struggling with the same thing, which is, guys, we all want to come back, but we want to do it safely and responsibly for our employee population as well. And I'm just thinking about our own business. I'm with you, like having to write down, why did we do this 7 weeks ago? So it's spot on, Karen. So thank you. We're just so grateful for you taking the time out today to share some insights with us.
It's my pleasure. It's, been a period of, I feel like I have a master's degree in COVID now by everything I've had to learn.
Absolutely.
Fast track. And I think everybody's, kind of in that same boat. And, I would say the sharing of what we've learned across industries, people have been so willing to share what they've learned, share best practices, not caring if they get anything out of it, not charging for webinars. And it's been fabulous because we really are all in it together. And that's been felt now more than ever.
I think that's one of the coolest things about the HR function in this kind of context of winning the recovery is all the best practices and ideas. And this is what we did sharing going on is really, really, really great. So I'm glad.
This is what they're going to be learning about in business school.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. So, well, Karen, thank you so much again. Good luck on your company's continued recovery, and I'm sure we'll talk soon.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Karen, thank you so much again for joining us today. We're so grateful to you for your insights on how companies can win the recovery. If your company is interested in improving your background check program, Scout Logic is offering a complimentary assessment right now where we'll evaluate your program's quality, service, and cost to see if we can help you in any way possible. Just visit us at our website at www.scoutlogicstraining.com. Thanks again for joining us today, and good luck in winning the recovery.